Kachina Yoga, and welcome back to Alignment. This course is a free mini course designed to bring you tips and tidbits that bring you back into a space of alignment physically, mentally, and energetically. Today we're going to be talking about alignment with a dear friend, Dr. Lisa Patel of Precision Chiropractic and Yoga. And she's going to talk to us about how bringing yourself into a space of alignment physically can also tie in the mental and the energetic body as well. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Nicole.
This is going to be awesome. You do not want to miss this. And if you have an opportunity, please share this video with any friends and loved ones, because we all need a space of alignment. But let's just jump right in. So I wanted to ask you, how did you get started? What made you go into chiropractic?
So I've always, kind of wanted to be in the medical field, and growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. And so along the way, I think just the holistic side of it, I was more interested in that aspect. And after undergrad, I really didn't even know what I was doing. So back then, I thought, maybe pharmaceutical sales, I'll still be in the medical field, but not completely, becoming a doctor at that point. So I took on a job, and then during that time, I got into a pretty bad car accident. I was in a lot of upper back pain, a lot of muscle spasms, and I had no idea what to do. At that time, my really good friend had gone through chiropractic school, and so I ended up calling her. I said, look, my back hurts, what do I do? She was in Southern California, I was up north, and so she said, go to one of the schools, the chiropractic schools. They'll be able to help you there. You get some treatment, and at least it'll benefit the school as well. The interns get their credit and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, so I made an appointment, went in. Probably after the second or third visit, it was incredible. I literally looked up, bounced off the table, I looked up at the intern and I said, where's your admin department? And he looks at me, he's like, what? I said, I think I'm gonna apply for chiropractic school. So,
wow.
But I think everything kind of, goes in that path of where you're destined to become. Like, that's basically, now I look back at it, I don't think I would do anything other than being a chiropractor.
Yeah.
So yeah, yep.
So that's so cool. That's interesting. I was reading something about the neutral spine alignment, and what caught my eye as a yoga instructor is how it was talking about making sure that the pelvis, the rib cage, and the skull are aligned, and that helps to make the whole system flow.
Right.
And what I thought about was how those are like the three womb spaces of the body. So that's bringing you deep into your space of your energetic flow, and then deep
Absolutely.
into the space of the mind and the nerves. So can you talk to us a little bit about the neutral spine alignment?
Yeah, so you hear this all the time, right? Everything's connected. Everything, it's all connected. So the body's the main thing with alignment is the body usually, what it does is it tries to keep your eyes at a horizon, right? So everything that goes on below it, it will compensate through. And so, when you look at your skull, the pelvic, the rib cage, if all of that is all aligned in one, then everything else, spine, everything else kind of falls into place, leading all the way down to the feet. And so we want to make sure we maintain that. We talk about with my patients all the time how important it is to make sure that we're maintaining proper alignment through their day, whether it's work or while working out. And so that, I've kind of backtracked a lot with my athletic patients. When I say backtrack, we're really focusing on alignment.
Okay.
So whether it's they're coming in for injuries, that these injuries happen over time, unless it was like a blunt force trauma. These injuries are happening over time, and it's wear and tear, right? It's one side is not aligned with the other, or there's something off balance. We're favoring one side or the other, and over time that wear and tear occurs, and boom, now you've got injuries. Even though you've been trying to be athletic and working out, you're dealing with things that will cause wear and tear on the body. So
it's kind of interesting that you mentioned the sports and the injuries, because it also in that same article that I was reading, it was talking about when we begin to work out after we've been in this space of disalignment, or whatever that word would be, that we train our muscles to remain in that space.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, so it's like, I think they say about 21 days, so 3 weeks to build a bad habit, right? So if this is our bad habit every day, which most people, if they're working at a desk job and they're in this all day, or even driving, and so with this forward posture, And then no matter how many times my patients that do work out, they come in and say, but I'm using proper form.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. You know, at that point, we're weakening our posture muscles that help to support the spine. We're weakening all of these core muscles. And so for 8 to 10 hours, you're sitting like this, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go hit the CrossFit gym, and then now all of a sudden I'm gonna put a big barbell overhead and lift all this weight and do a squat with it. You know, you're looking to get injured.
Yeah.
And so we reverse a lot of that in our office. We really start to function, you know, work with, okay, let's get you back to activating these posture muscles, getting everything balanced, getting everything in alignment. And, you know, most of the time people will come in and say, well, you know, only my one shoulder hurts, but I don't know what I've done. It happened. And it's really not it happened. I don't know where it came from. It is, you know, it's we're over time, because whether they favor that right shoulder, maybe they drive, you know, 2 hours, you know, of traffic in Houston.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe they're up like this all day and they're putting pressure, and that, you know, these little things that kind of build on itself, and then boom, you've got your injuries. So
wow.
Yeah.
You don't do little things.
Exactly. And it's just, you know, it goes back, speaking of traffic and cars, right? I always use this analogy with my patients. It's like, you know, we take great care of our car, right? 10,000 miles, boom, we need an oil change. What do? We get our oil change. We get our tires rotated. We do an alignment. Why are we doing this on our cars? What's the main thing? Wear and tear, right? So if we're putting wear and tear on our body, but we're not addressing, you know, that balance and homeostasis in our internally and externally, then you start to see these ailments pop up, these injuries come up. And so, I mean, if we're taking that good care of our cars, you know,
these are our cars.
Exactly.
This is what I call it. Yeah. This is our
wear
car.
and tear on our bodies that we need to correct.
And you know, when you say that, it's kind of interesting, because when you talk about the alignment that you get on your car, and the alignment doesn't really make the car go one way or the other. It keeps it so that if you need it to go left, it's easy. If you need to go right, it's easy. And if you want to coast for a few moments, because nothing is ever just straight. But if you want to coast, you can do that.
Exactly.
So when would you say it would be a time for a person to come? Because I know that you tie yoga and chiropractic, right, 1-in-1, so much so that you open the studio next door. So could you talk a little bit about when it would be appropriate to go into the chiropractor versus to go into a yoga studio?
Yeah, for sure. So as far as chiropractic care goes, the main thing is we want to get the pain down. If patients are actually coming in with pain, we try to hold off on any kind of physical activity, any kind of rehab program, unless, you know, there's sometimes where we will implement, but most of the time we want them out of pain, because at that point their bodies are not compensating, you know, they're not fighting through this pain, and you know, they'll go to PT and whatnot, and they're, we just did exercises, and most of the time they don't even put their hands on, you know, the where the body is, or work on muscle tissue and things like that. And so you're basically fighting your body in this already negative cycle of pain and compensation, and then you try to, you know, do exercise. So with the yoga side of it, you know, typically if we're looking to correct, if they've gone through, okay, we're in pain, and then we put them through the treatment as far as coming in and seeing me, and then they get to that point where they're like, all right, we're functional, that's when we start to put them through yoga. Now, if they come in and they say, you know, I just feel like I just need an adjustment, I'm not doing much, we don't find anything that's way out of alignment, then go for it. The yoga is there for that, right? To start working on more of preventative and just maintaining that function for them.
They just work hand in hand.
Absolutely. And that's why I opened, you know, 3 years ago I opened up that yoga studio, because that's what we would tell our patients, you know, after they would come in for treatment, we'd take them through some exercise and things like that, and they, well, what can I do now? You know, I tell them, go do some yoga, you know, you're doing all the other stuff, your CrossFits and the exercise and stuff. Your body needs a recovery day, or core stability, strengthening, alignment. You need to keep that in your weekly, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, just to maintain that. Otherwise, there goes that wear and tear all over again.
All over again.
Yep.
Because you don't just get one alignment.
Exactly.
I mean, you just constantly have to keep, you know, being aware of what's going on with yourself.
Exactly.
So, other than the chiropractic and the yoga, what else do you have going on here at the on the front,
So
the western front.
So I've been in practice since 2010, so going on 10 years now. I'm actually sports certified chiropractor, so we work with a lot of, just any kind of athletes from amateur all the way up to pro. We do a lot of muscle work. I work with Graston technique, which are these tools that help to break down any kind of scar tissue after injury that's formed. So we do Graston technique. We also do kinesio tape in here. I do acupuncture for musculoskeletal conditions. I've got massage therapy in here. We do decompression therapy for patients who have disc herniations and things like that. So a lot of active hands-on. I mean, most of my patients spend about at least on a minimum 30 minutes in here, depending on their condition or whatever. But most of the time, 30 minutes of hands-on. You're working with us, and we're correcting this.
So that's awesome, because like the acupuncture and the massage, right away I think about those are things that I can relate with because I've done them, and then those both always, it's interesting. I had a massage therapist speaking the other day, and she was talking about the touch and the power of touch, and then I've been in acupuncture and just immediately, like, whoa, it's a whole spiritual and mental experience.
It's true.
Outside of the physical body, so that's cool how you have it all like tied in together. So you're in good hands.
Yes, for sure. Literally, right?
Yeah, literally in good hands. So, could you give anyone who's watching this video just some basic tips that they need to kind of be aware of when they're trying to make sure that they're, what tips to bring awareness to their alignment, to keep them straight?
Yeah, for sure. So typically, when we have our patients come in, we assess, not just physically, but then we're assessing environmental factors, right? Because if we're not correcting those environmental factors, no matter how much we're working on in here with them, they're never gonna get better. So we talk to them about if they do have a job that they're working at the desk, how long are you sitting for? Are you sitting with the legs crossed? Do you put your foot up on the little leg of the chair? Are you leaning to one side? How's your posture? We do ergonomic, kind of talk to them about ergonomics for the desk, the screen, the monitor for the computer, how many monitors they have. And this all plays into that long-term, slowly building on those, misalignments along the way. And so if they're spending 6, 8, 10 hours at work, and they're not correcting what's happening there, then we're gonna continue to fight that battle of trying to beat their pain, right? So we assess their job, whether it's sitting at the desk or maybe they're lifting and they have a labor intense job. So we're trying to figure out, okay, how can we minimize how much pressure you put on your body, or if you're doing one movement all the time, how can we compensate that out? And so that's one thing is really assessing, being conscious of how you're sitting at work. Sometimes I'll tell my patients, like, either get a sticky note, put it up on the computer that says sit up straight and take a break. Take a break, right? Yeah. Because what we don't also do is 45 minutes, you should be getting up and moving around. Most of the people, when you get into your work zone and you're there, 4 or 5 hours later, you're like, oh man, it's lunchtime and I haven't even moved. And so you're in this all day long, those joints are getting compressed, the body's just fatigued, those muscles are just getting fatigued, and we're building poor posture. And so that's workstation, right? And then we start thinking, okay, let's think about sleep. That's another chunk of our time. If we're not working for a big chunk of time, then we're sleeping, at least for most of us, right? 6, 8, 10 hours. So we talk about the pillow, how is it supporting our proper neck posture? Is it too soft? Is it too fluffy? Are you using multiple pillows, which we don't recommend at all? One pillow to support that one natural C-shape, backward C-shaped curve in our neck, where you're in a neutral position. So what we do sitting, we should do laying down, right? So pretty much this position, so on the back or on your side is fine. Sleeping on the stomach is probably one of the worst positions to do, because you're turned to one side, unless you've got like a massage table. You're turned to one side. Usually people bring the arm up, one leg will be up, and so we're compromising all these joints. And so we're assessing and correcting that as well. And that sleep positions are hard, right?
Yeah.
Daytime, at least you're more conscious. So
I still sleep in the fetal position.
Yeah, and so little tips that I'll give my patients is have them sleep if we're correcting like them sleeping on their stomach, is okay, start off on your side, put a pillow between your legs so it blocks you, right? So that when you try to turn, then you hit that pillow. Or I've even gone to the point of telling my patients buying pool noodles, the ones that kids use, and put them right along beside you underneath the sheet so that they don't move. And then that way it kind of prevents, I mean, it, as much as we could
Bumper
do,
guards.
yeah, exactly, as much as we can do to get them to change that behavior. Again, going back to the 21 days of forming a habit, it also has to be done with our sleep positions as well. And that's, you know, that's most of your day, right? So you spend maybe an hour, couple hours working out, but we want to address the other hours throughout the, so that we're really working on correcting those the patient's posture, the alignment, and it all works all together. So yeah.
So if I take anything from this conversation, what I take the most is you're setting habits regardless of whether you realize them or not, and they may not be the best alignment for yourself. So take that time to actually get back in that space and bring that awareness into it so that you can, you know, be in the best shape possible.
Absolutely. Yep.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
So how can we get in contact with you? How can people come find you to pay you a visit, pay the yoga studio a visit?
So we're located at West Houston. We're 15015 Westheimer Road, Suite K, 77082. You can always visit our website. The website for the office is www.yoursportschiro.com. And then the yoga website is www.youryogafitness.com. And then you can always reach us on the phone, 281-606-0905 for both the yoga and the office, or both times of that number.
And are y'all on any social media?
Yep, you can find us on social media, of course, Precision Chiropractic Houston or Precision Yoga and Fitness. We're on Facebook. Just look us up at under Precision Chiropractic and Precision Yoga and Fitness.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Yes, we really appreciate it. Call us if you have any questions or anything that we can help you with.
Definitely will. And this is the perfect opportunity for you to begin 2020. It's all about alignment. Because remember, at the end of the day, there's only one you, so you have no choice but to shine. Yep. The divine in me bows in gratitude to the divine in each and every one of you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.